Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Youth Edition. It's Fabio Barros, it's Salford City FC on a quest for Champions League glory. Sit back, relax, get in your comfy chair, grab your favourite beverage, turn on that big screen TV, because here we go with the Youth Edition. Hello and welcome to the season finale of the Youth Edition with Salford City. This is here, of course, on FIFA 20 with the Realism Mod. And, well, you know, it's been an interesting first season. We sit in 10th. We've got one game to play. That's against Cheltenham Town, who currently sit in 7th. They'll be playing in the playoffs. No other team is going to get up there inside the top 7. Colchester have taken the title. Bradford will be promoted, and along with Scunthorpe, you'd think, unless Walsall or Forest Green can pull something out of the hat. And then, yeah, they'll go to the playoffs and they'll push to go up to League One. We don't have that chance, though. So in today's episode, we're going to play this final game, see where we finish up in the season, and then a lot of managerial stuff. I've got a lot of things to discuss with you. So sit back, relax, get ready for that, and let's get into this one with a player upgrade. Right, today's player upgrade comes in here for Zanotti, and it comes in from Harvey Higgins. He's got another one, so thank you very much for being really a part of the channel at the moment, Harvey. Do appreciate you putting in these comments. 34 thumbs up, so we've given this one to Harvey. If we start getting, if Harvey starts getting 4 or 5, 6, 7, then what we'll have to do is, change things up and maybe take the second one. I want to give you guys a real opportunity here, but 34 thumbs up means a lot of you guys wanted this upgrade, so here we go. He's gone with the number 22 because his idol is Sergio Romero, baggy long sleeve shirt, and he's got the trousers on, so maybe he's a bit cold here in England, obviously from San Marino. And you asked for white Nike Mercurial, so I did the white Nike Mercurial gloves. There wasn't matching boots, but we found some Nike boots with a little bit of gold on them. Hopefully you're happy with that one, Harvey. Let's get into this episode. So the final game of this season, of course, is against Cheltenham Town. We'll just have the one game, obviously, for you in this episode. Now, what I've decided to do here for this one is put all of the, the free agents that we picked up at the start of the season: Arias, Deshpande, Fenless, Popov, Sarachat, and Acosta into this team, because basically this is going to be their last game for the club. They'll all be moved on, but we will discuss that a little bit later on. But let's give them a bit of a send-off here, hopefully for a win. Let's get into this game here against Cheltenham Town. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The final game of the season, and a bit of a send-off for some of the players here for Salford City. They've helped us out a lot through this first season, but it's time for them to move on. Acosta getting his final game here between the sticks, possibly in contention for a Golden Glove, but we'll just see how that pans out. Obviously, we want to try and finish the season off with a win, and let's see if we can, get one here against Cheltenham. Well, there's a ball straight through for Cheltenham. Justice Pow has some work to do, but it's a header. It's put wide by Clements. Early corner here for Salford City. Fenless drives inside. Neves trying to get involved. Here is Popov. Lays it off. Sarachat was there, but that one's picked out. Justice Pow fires it forward. Arias tried a little bit of trickery. Sarachat gets the touch, and Cheltenham clear. Here's Fenless. He's being deployed in a cam roll. Arias comes around his man. Arias, oh yes! Lovely goal from Arias. It's been a while, but that is his 8th goal of the season. 1-0 Salford City. And let's send these boys out on a high. That is a lovely turn and burn from Arias. The Panama strikers helped us out quite considerably early on. Sort of been pushed back in the pecking order with Gunnison coming through, but a good finish there from Arias, and it's 1-0 to Salford City. Williams plays one forward. Asks a lot here of Deshpande. He's on a yellow, so he needs to be careful. Arias gets the touch. Deshpande plays one forward. Fenless. Can he come around? No agility. Playing back and cleared away by Flinders. Burns over the top. Asks young Popov to make a run here. Hasn't really been given a lot of opportunity this season, Popov. Will play this one back inside, and it's a very poor cross. There's Cheltenham. Burns with the clearance. Fenless gets the touch. Michaels flicks out. Deshpande plays it forward. Arias, lovely touch. Finds Fenless. Can he get something going here? No, picked out. He's on the yellow now as well. And Cheltenham trying to find an opening here, but Sarachat gets the touch. No one really getting involved here. Justice Pow trying to put on some pressure. Here's the strike, and it's put wide by Cheltenham. Fenless lays off. Jose Michaels. That's a crack from range, but not sure what he was thinking there. And there is the halftime whistle. 1-0 to Salford City with a goal through Arias. Sarachat plays one forward, and Gets a run here from the Bulgarian and Popov, but good tackle there from Maycock. Corner for Cheltenham Town. It's 1-0. They've made a substitution, just trying to freshen things up here. And some good defensive work there. Offside call down. Burns turned inside out. That one's played forward. Acosta comes out and makes the save. Corner again for Cheltenham. They're starting to put some pressure on here late in the second. Arias gets up, and Justice Pau pushes his way forward. Can't take the ball though. Honestly, they count the last 3 changes. We're going to keep all the regens on. So Wood, Stephenson and Santosa in for Williams, Burns, and yeah, we brought off Michaels. Lays it off now for Deshpande. Back inside, Arias, good touch on, finds Santoso. He's been quiet, but he takes a strike and a good save from Flinders. And flicking out the back door here for Popov. Popov drives forward, men streaming it. Oh, ref! Oh, not paid! Lays it off, Sarachat. Played through. Oh no, Deshpande, that's a big hit. He's already on a yellow. He might be in trouble. Oh, Justice Pau, what a tackle. He has destroyed a man in the box. Come on, boys, get in there. Oh, Wood, what have you done? Acosta plays this one out, tries to set up a counter-attack. Popov plays it forward to himself pretty much, but can't get through. Sarachat gets in and makes the touch. Fenless through for Sarachat, and Sarachat will push forward here. What can he set up? Lays it off. Popov couldn't get the pass through. But it looks like it will be a win here for Salford City in the final game of the season. Unless Cheltenham can get something going here, they decide to play back, then they go forward. Diogo Neves on a yellow now as well. He'll need to be careful. Cheltenham push forward, and Reed takes it out. There's the whistle. 3 points for Salford City. A good finish to the season, and a good way to send off some of these lads in their final game for the club. Well, 7 shots to 2. Big tackling game from Cheltenham. And Arias gets an 8.3 man of the match performance in his final game. Right, a youth squad monthly report. Time to bring some of these lads in to the squad so that we are able to sell them off next season. Now, Eric Barsetson, well, 61 to 71. He's not going to play here for Salford, but we want to keep that name around, so let's promote him to the senior team. Wafi Hamir is a 61 to 83 goalkeeper. We'll hold for now. Henk Vandenberg, 51 to 73, is not going to be good enough. We're going to release him. Joris de Jong, 52 overall, 66 to 88, a playmaker, central attacking midfielder. Let's promote him to the senior team. Syracuse Nazif, 65 to 83. I don't think he's going to do anything. And at 33, he's not going to grow quick enough. We're going to release him. Fake Caesar as well, 51 to 71, can be released. Tony Marcelino, 68 to 90. We'll keep an eye on him. Still only 14 years of age. Marco Mafioso, 61 to 79. He's 53 overall and 6'3", but that potential's dropped below 80, and I am going to release him. Dushamiana is 63 to 83, defensive-minded right back. You know what? He's not going to make the cut either. Hamadoushi at 55 to 77 is not going to do anything for us, so he can be released. Abdul Rahman, 52 to 74, is 57 overall at the moment, so I might just hold on to him just for now. Gianni De Luca, his potential is dropping, but we'll hold on to him. Topola, 71 to 81, another centre back. I don't think he's going to be the goods, but that potential is 71, so not too bad. We'll monitor him. Salahama, 66 to 86, we'll hold in the academy. Bonifazi, 53 to 73, isn't going to make the cut. And Casanova, we wanted to promote him for his name. So maybe he'll turn 16 before the end of the season. We'll see what pans out. Right now, scout reports are back in, and we'll get 2 actually in this episode before we finish up the season. So we've got some new players from the new countries that we have visited. Let's have a look and see if any are worth bringing into the first team. We've got Declan Davies, a 57 overall left midfielder from Wales, 64 to 86 potential. And you know what? With some of the boys probably leaving the club, this is probably a good signing for us at this stage, so let's get Declan Davies into the first team. Next up, we have Harry Cullen, a right midfielder from Wales, 53 overall, technically gifted, 61 to 85. We've got quite a few right midfielders at this stage, so I'll just hold him for now and see how that potential develops. From Madagascar, It's Jose Rapataniana. Geez, that's a bit of a tongue twister. 59 to 77 potential, so not the highest. He's physically strong. We'll hold him in the academy. And then we have a 66 to 92 rated central attacking midfielder from Wales, 54 overall, Matt Lloyd. Now, at 92 rated, that is Alfie Lee, so he gets another dash in his column, and he's up to 5, so he will hit 2-star judgment. And all of the scouts, of course, into the next season will have 2-star experience. But Matty Lloyd, 54 overall cam, he's a winger, so he should have a little bit of pace about him. Let's get him into the first team. Wafi Hamir, we know. Marcelino, we know. From the Philippines, we've got Adrian, is it Maia or Maja? I'm not too sure. We'll have to work that one out. 55 overall central attacking midfielder, 66 to 88 potential. I'm just going to hold him in the academy. We've just signed a cam, so we'll see how that potential develops over the next month. Ruckman, of course, DeLuca, Tupola, Salahama. And then we have a centre-back here from Madagascar called Galvin Kabanda. 51 overall, 64 to 84 potential, physically strong. We'll hold him. And from Madagascar, we've got a centre midfielder here. Obviously, Binhammer needs 92 rated players to get another dash in his column. But Akolo Momo, 48 overall, 68 to 90 potential, physically strong. At 48, we'll leave him there. And Dimitri Casanova has hit 16 years of age. We will bring him into the first team because I plan to sell him off. A little bit of training sees Zanotti to a 53 and Michael's up to a 51. And more training once again. Zanotti now to a 54. Stephenson hits a 57. Another training session. Zanotti now to 55. Stephenson hits 58. Right, and we are into June, so let's quickly check on this youth academy before the next reports do come back. Harry Cullen, 66 to 84, still looking okay. Right, yeah, that's dodgy. Let's get rid of him. Wafi Hamir, 62 to 76, is not going to make the cut for me, so we're going to release him. Marceliano, 68 to 82, we'll hold on to. Maya, 60 to 76, so you can see there that potential did drop. And I'm in fact going to release him. Abdul Rahman, 65 to 79, not going to make the cut for me either. And DeLuca stays at an 82. Tupola, 74 to 78. Yeah, unfortunately your time is up here. Salahama as well, released. Kabanda, 60 to 76, not good enough for me. And Akolo Momo, 66 to 84 will hold. So we've cleaned out, but we'll have another full crop come back in a day or two. Right, the scout reports are back for the second time in this episode. This will be the final youth squad report. Obviously, we know Harry Cullen. We've picked up here Bobby Wilson, 76 to 94, a right winger from Wales. So Alfie Lee gets another stroke in his box of judgment. He's also brought us back Donny Whiteload, 55 overall, 68 to 92 right midfielder. We'll see how that potential develops, but 92 rated, so another dash in the column there for Alfie Lee. He's also brought us back Ian Griffiths, a 69 to 94 Welshman, a centre midfielder, so another dash in the column. Alfie Lee bringing back a really good crop of players on this one. The Realism Mod is doing us justice here late in the season. We have ourselves John Santos, 72 to 94 from the Philippines, so that means that Guerin gets one and he will go to 2-star judgment. So all of our scouts will have 2-star judgment going into season number 2. We've got ourselves a striker here in Leroy Jenkins, 53 overall, 69 to 93. Lee gets himself another dash in the column, and he's not far off a 3-star scout. And then what else have we picked up? Justin, how do you pronounce that little A? Is it Davila? I don't know. I'll work that one out as we go through. But 73 to 94, so Guerin there on his way. And we've also got ourselves a left back here from Madagascar in, is it Mika or Misha Lusasa? A left back, 54 overall, 69 to 94 potential. We'll see how that potential develops because he's defensive minded and 120 grand evaluation. So I'm not going to sign any of these lads up just yet. We'll wait until we get into the new season and see how those potentials are looking and, you know, what we do actually need for our squad. So let's push on. Right, another training session. Zanotti to 56, Michaels to 53, Stephenson almost at that 60 mark, so we'll be able to see what his potential is soon. Right, so now we need to get into a very in-depth discussion on how the transfers are going to work in this series. I'm going to change things up here just to keep it a little bit spicy, and we'll get into a squad report shortly. But basically, what I've put forward here is that any regens or free agents that are brought into the club can only come in on a 1-season contract. Whether we sign them for 3, 4, 5 just to get them into the club, that's fine. But in our minds, they're only here for 1 season, and then they need need to be moved on. So all the free agents that we did sign at the start of the season, like Acosta and Superchok Sarachat, they need to be moved on as soon as the transfer window opens. But how are we going to go about that, and what are we going to do? Before we discuss that, though, I need to let you know on what we're trying to achieve here. I want to put a stipulation in place that if we can generate enough money from sales and obviously our budget, we can then go ahead and start upgrading our stadium. So I'm going to put a $10 million mark on the first stadium upgrade. So we need to generate $10 million in our kitty before we can go and blow that on upgrading our stadium. Now, there's only one way that we can really go about that other than winning titles and, getting some money from the board, and that is by selling players. But we're not going to be able to do it that easily. So I've got two scenarios for you. The first we will deal with is regens and, of course, free agents. Now, what I've got here is a little bit of a wheel, and if I keep pressing that, it spins around, and then we basically get an option, so completely randomly generated. Now, on this transfer wheel, we have three options. We have sell, which means we can sell the player. We also have release, which means they just get turf to the free agency list and we get no money. And we also have feeder, and that means that what I will do is I'll make them go to Oldham Athletic. We'll bring a player from Oldham across, and I'll just release that player that we've brought off for Oldham, and they'll start making their way down to the feeder team. So there's three options there for the free agents and regens. And as we go through, some of those good players will go to Oldham and strengthen them out. Some will be able to sell to generate money to try and upgrade our stadium, and some of them will just miss out on, and they will get released to the free agency. Maybe we can pick them up again in the following season or something. So that is how I am going to work the transfers for the regens and the free agents. Now, what are we going to do with the youth academy players? Well, I've got myself another little wheel here. And what we've got on this one is renew or feeder. So basically we can renew their contract or we can send them to Oldham. Now, I'm only going to do this for the first couple of seasons. Then we'll be able to sell some youth academy players. But for now, most of them aren't really going to get us too much money. So we may as well try and, they might get offloaded to Oldham Athletic. Now, I don't want to, get rid of all of your favourite players. I'm not going to leave it all completely up to chance. There is something that we need to address and have a look at first to tell you how the youth system is going to work. Right, so the way this youth system is going to work in regards to whether they have earned themselves a new contract or whether they are going to slip away and get transferred to Oldham, it does not matter on their potential. They could have 96 potential. I do not care. If they're not performing for the team, they are up for negotiations on whether they get a new contract or not. Now, we're going to put a stipulation in here. At the end of the season, we've got the team stats here, and then you can sort it by average. Now, this is basically their average player rating for the entirety of the season. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say that anyone over a 7 automatically gets a new contract. So Jose Michael's not going anywhere. Hughes, Gunnison, Zanotti, Pau, Neves, Perez, and Chase Williams are all safe here at the club. Anyone below that, though, Burns, Faria, Lopez, Belusi, Compton, Fleming, Larry Wood, Matos, Santoso, even Stephenson here could possibly be leaving. Reece King, Rick Titball, Billy Washington, they just have not, done enough here, and they could be on their way to Oldham Athletic. Don't get butthurt if your favourite player gets sold. It's how we're going to try and keep things here spicy, and maybe help Oldham sort of rise up as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to randomly generate this through the entire list, and then I'll explain how it sits on the squad report as we go through it. Right, so because we've only signed the free agents that in the first season, we won't be able to change their statuses until the season rolls over. So we'll deal with that in the first episode of the next one. But I will show you how this is going to work. Zanotti obviously had the right rating, so he doesn't get touched. Matos, you can see here, I have loan listed him, and what that tells me is that he needs to go to Oldham Athletic. So Matos will be moving on from the club once the transfer window opens. Larry Wood manages to get a renewal of his contract. Williams was fine. Belusi manages to get a renewal of his contract, as does Stephenson. Reece King holds his spot here. And what we need to actually do is keep 8 Englishmen or Welshmen in this squad at all times, because that is a prerequisite for the Premier League. So we'll try and keep at least 8 Englishmen or Welshmen in the squad at all times. So luckily enough, we keep King. Pau's fine. Neves is fine. Compton manages to hold his spot as well. Cesario Lopez, he's going to be on his way to Oldham. He's hit the loan list there, and obviously these were all done at randomly generated. Burns keeps his spot. Perez manages to keep his spot. Casanova, you can see here, I have transfer listed and he will be moving on. So I did manage to get those two there, whether they went down or did get transfer listed. So Casanova, unfortunately, won't be playing for Oldham. He will be moving on. Jose Michaels holds his spot. Faria also holds his spot. Deshpande, of course, will run through the generator. Davies is new, so he doesn't come into consideration. Santoso manages to hold his spot. Rick Titball, unfortunately, he is going to be moving on to Oldham Athletic. Lloyd is new. Joris de Jong is also new. And he's got a top knot. Okay. Right, Eric Barsitson will be going to Oldham Athletic. He has got the feeder team. And as will Billy Washington, 53 rated. We probably could have utilised his services, but he is going to be moving on to Oldham. Stuart Fleming holds his spot. Fenless will be moving with Popov. Hughes manages to get a renewal here at Salford City. Arias will be moving on, and of course Gunnison won't be touched because he got enough rating. So hopefully that makes sense. We'll work it out a bit more once we move into the new season, because we've obviously got a lot of players here that are in on loan that will obviously leave. Some of these we've got transfers sorted for, so they will move on. But let us do a full in-depth squad report now and check on stats and all that kind of stuff. Right, so Carlos Acosta, a good season here for us, to be fair. 50 appearances with 20 clean sheets. Went from 46 to 60 with a fair bit of heavy training. He will be moving on next season, but will he be released? Will he be sold, or will he be heading to Oldham? Nicolas Zidoni up 9 to a 56. Just the 4 appearances with 1 clean sheet. And what's he coming along? Reaction, sprint speed, acceleration. We're obviously training his goalkeeping abilities, and he is coming along nicely. And dare say he will be the #1 goalkeeper at the club moving into season number 2, unless, some youth players come through or there's a decent free agent floating about. So Gustavo Matos, he will be leaving us to Oldham as well. To 10 appearances for him. 37 up 4 to a 41, growing physically and technically, so hopefully he can help Oldham out. It's going to take him a long time. He's only 41 rated. Larry Wood manages to hold his place here at 49 rated, 21 appearances, and just didn't even grow, so it would have been nice to see him move on, but no, we hold on to Larry Wood for now. Chase Williams, 56, didn't grow this season. 31 with 1 goal. Attribute-wise, growing slowly, so I don't think his potential will be that high with the amount of growth that we've got. But don't forget that dynamic potential will be in play, and we'll get to see that when we move into the second season. Now, Belusi manages to hold a spot here, and high hopes for this lad, to be fair. 11 appearances with an assist. His face is not matching up with what's going on there. Maybe that'll get fixed up once there's been a patch, so some of the realism mod stuff has gone a bit haywire. But 59 up to a 61, so he's gone up 2. And yeah, we'll get to see him in action. I mean, what's his potential? Showing great potential, so maybe an 83 possibly could climb to. We'll have to wait and see what dynamic potential does for the young lad. Baldwin is on loan, so he's gone. Stephenson up 7 to a 59. He had some heavy training. 23 appearances with 2 assists. And physically turning into a bit of a beast. So trying to sort of build him into a backup centre-back if required. If Neves or Pau go down. And we obviously do want to start building a reserves team in the future. So not a bad season there for Ragnar Stephenson. Reece King holds his place, and that's good because he's an Englishman. 22 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist. Just up 1, not really getting a lot there in the second half of the season. Justice Pau up 6 to a 62. What's he got? 30 appearances. He got that beautiful goal. And coming along nicely. Just growing slowly. Haven't really put too much training into him, although he has risen up a decent amount. His technical abilities just coming along slowly, but he's still only 16 years of age. It's such a young squad at the moment. Diogo Neves, of course, has the potential to be special. 51 appearances with 3 goals, up 3 to a 62. And yes, his physicals are definitely coming along nicely. His technical ability is a little bit slow. That defensive awareness, probably his marking needs to be worked on. Maybe a little bit of training at the start of next season. Burgess on loan. Dan Jones we're trying to get rid of. Compton, Mikhail Compton, he holds his spot. 51 up to just the 10 appearances for him. Chipping in early in the season, but his physicals are growing. Technicals not so much. And we'll see what happens with him in Season 2. Cesario Lopez will be leaving us. 51 up 1. 18 appearances, 5 clean sheets. The 5-star weak foot. And, just dribbling along. we'll see. We'll see how he turns out at Oldham. We'll keep an eye on them, and obviously we'll probably play against a few of these lads. Hughes will leave on loan. He's got a transfer request, but we haven't been able to get anything for him. Elias Burns, 54, up 2, 31 appearances. Yet to score a goal, but just moving along slowly. Not sure what his max potential will be. It doesn't look like it will be that high. Naberto Perez holds his spot, 39, up 1, 18 appearances, 2 assists, and quite sprightly. So not bad to see him stick around for another season. We'll see how he ends up at the end of Season 2. Dimitri Casanova will be leaving. He will be transfer listed and sold off to the highest bidder. Unfortunately, not going to Oldham. 5-star Weakfoot. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. He's a solid player. Wiseman's retiring. Sarachat will be... well, he's on the chopping block, of course, but where will he end up? 53, up 7. 2 assists for him this season. Growing physically and a few technical attributes. Oh, had a fair bit of training there early on, the Thai lad. Jones is going to Tranmere. Jose Marcos, 53, up 3. 47 appearances, 11 goals, 1 assist. Our leading goal scorer with low work rates. It's just uncanny that he was our top goal scorer. And his finishing is at 30, which hasn't grown. But maybe a little dynamic potential boost may help him out in the future. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Thiago Faria holds his spot in the club as well. 53, didn't grow at all this season, but 2 goals, 4 assists. Just probably needed to work a little bit harder on the left-hand side, but none of his stats rising, and maybe it would have been better to see him move on. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way, so Faria sticks with us for another season. Deshpande will be moving on. 50, up 2, 2 goals, 3 assists, and, you know, did his job when required. Thomas Asante is going... Declan Davies we've just brought in from the academy. Left mid, centre mid, right mid. 57 overall. What's he got in his locker? 3-star, 2-star, medium, high defensive work rate. He's got some physicals. We'll see what happens. Long throw in, but he's injury prone. Okay. Smith is leaving. Santoso holds his spot at the club. 48, up 3. 45 appearances, 6 goals, 5 assists. Had a good middle part of the season, but went a little bit quiet there in the second half of it, and sort of got moved to the bench. But we'll see how he develops here in season number 2. Might get a dynamic potential boost. We'll have to wait and see. Towers going to Atlas. Titball, he'll be going to Oldham Athletic. 42, up 1. Got a goal for himself. Who knows what this lad is capable of, because he's so low rated. It's going to be a long time before we see anything with Rick Titball. Matty Lloyd, 55, up 1 already. He's got a beard and some red hair from Wales. A cam centre forward. What's he got? High, low work rates. 2-star, 3-star, weak foot, 5'8". He's got some pace. He's got some balance. And he's got some curve about him. So we'll see how that works out. 47 finishing. He's injury prone, but he's got a swerve pass. So we'll see how that plays out. 55 rated. He could just about slot straight into that cam starting role. Then we've got Joris de Jong. He's got a top knot. Why have you got a top knot, mate? He's just signed up with us as well. 1-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot, high attacking work rate. And the stats aren't looking too good for him at this stage. He is a playmaker with the CPU. Bastardson will be going to Oldham Athletic. 51. He's already jumped up 1 since he's been signed. 3-star, 3-star, high, medium work rates, acceleration, all about that. Nothing really technically. Power free kick. Okay, Bastardson, settle down. Billy Washington will be on the move to Oldham. 53, up 2, 19 appearances, 1 assist. And really just got starved for opportunities, to be fair. Didn't play him as much as the other wingers. But looks like he had some okay stats. We'll just have to see how he goes there at Oldham. Bicycle kicks, the team player. Stuart Fleming holds his spot in the squad. 52, up 3. 29 appearances, 4 goals, 2 assists. And yeah, just checked in off the bench. Did us a job. He's English, which helps us out. And just growing there slowly. We'll see how he develops in season number 2. Walker's joining Swindon Town. Fenelus will be moving on, but 58, up 8. Started off like a fucking firecracker. Went really quiet and then came home strong with 2 games to go. 40 appearances, 7 goals, 7 assists. And, you know, we're actually going to miss young Herbert. But he'll move on, and we'll see where he ends up in the transfer window. Marcelo Popov, 46, up 4. 18 appearances, 1 assist. Really didn't get a lot of game time, but yeah, good luck to you, Popov. We'll see where you end up. Dylan Hughes didn't grow, but he's a 51 overall. Maybe he'll get a dynamic potential lift. 44 appearances, 7 goals, 13 assists. That one-star weak foot definitely didn't help him out, but we'll see what happens with him in season number 2. Arias went up 7 with a lot of training to a 52. 8 goals, 2 assists from 39 appearances. Just grew a little bit slow, and it was really down to his training, so we'll see where he ends up next season. Armstrong leaving us. Gunnarsson, 58-08 with some heavy training, of course. 19 appearances for 8 goals and 4 assists. And this is a lad that I think we can build the team around, at least for a little while, until we see what his potential is. Only 2 rating away from that. But with the training and all that, 87 strength already. He's got sprint speed, stamina, jumping and acceleration, good aggression. And that finishing with a bit of training has gone from 43 to 61. He's got shot power. He's got a solid player, finesse shot, bicycle kicks, and a team player. I cannot wait to see what this lad can do in a full season of football. Jervis is on loan, and Gaffney will return, and we'll throw him on the transfer list. So that is the full squad. A lot of these lads will be leaving, and yeah, we'll have to see what we have to play with at the start of season number 2. All right, so yeah, let's get an upgrade done in here straight away. Declan Davies, the left midfielder from Wales. If you want to make any changes to his number or his kids, let me know in the comment section. Of course, some numbers will be coming available at the start of next season. So if you do have a player that is still around the club and you want to change your numbers, do let me know, and we'll try and get those ones upgraded for you. But Declan Davies, if you want to make any upgrades, get that in the comment section. Thumbs up on it, you know, any that you do agree with, and we'll get him upgraded in a future episode. So good luck. Right, of course, we do like to look at some statistics when we do end the season. Vaughan for Bradford City got 37 goals from 43 matches. We were not a very big goal-scoring team this season, and unfortunately, we don't even have anyone in the top 25. Jose Michaels was our best. I'm not sure he got 11 in the league. That might have been across all competitions. So, unfortunately, we don't have a top goal scorer, and that's probably why we didn't do that well. Whoops. Let's go across here for assists. Now, Hughes has got himself 12 from 39 matches, so not too bad there. Almost, you know, got up and about, but it's more from Plymouth Argyle with 14. And that is it for Salford. Clean sheets. Acosta takes the Golden Club in his first and final season here at Salford City. Maybe he'll move on to Oldham Athletic, but they've got Woods there, and he got himself 10. We'll have to wait and see what happens with Acosta in season number 2. Right, we'll have a quick look at what is happening in the leagues, and Manchester City have absolutely dominated it. It's an undefeated season. They only had 1 draw, so something to look forward to when we finally get up there, and they've got themselves 112 points. I think that's something to do with the EA programming, but or the realism mod. I'm not too sure, but there's no way that they should have gone through undefeated, and that is a little bit scary once we do get to that level. Who's getting relegated though? Aston Villa, Norwich, and Sheffield United. A negative 65 goal difference. Oh, what is going on with this game? Right, Cardiff City, Middlesbrough, and Fulham have all got over 100 points in the championship, so they will be going up. And down the bottom, it's Barnsley, Luton Town, and QPR. Does 4 teams go down from the championship? Does Millwall get relegated as well? Can't remember. But yeah, Barnsley not having a very good season with a negative 82 goal difference. In League One, it's Lincoln City and Sunderland, probably Rotherham or going up, or is there playoffs? I'm not too sure. We'll work that out once we get into those leagues. But Lincoln City and Sunderland definitely going up to the championship. And relegated is Bury, who only picked up 5 points and a negative 98 goal difference. So we'll be taking them on next season. Accrington, Bastard, Stanley dropped down as well. And I think AFC Wimbledon will be down here into League 2, and possibly Rochdale. Right, the Emirates FA Cup was won by Spurs 4 goals to 0 over Wolves. The Carabao Cup was won by Manchester United over Wolves, 1-1 with a 5-4 on penalties. The Leasing.com Trophy was won by Sunderland 1-0 over Ipswich. And Forest Green have beaten Scunthorpe United in the playoffs to get promoted. The Champions League was won by Barcelona over Liverpool 4-3 on penalties after a 2-2 score. And the Europa League was won by Inter Milan 3-0 over FC Porto. So we already know that Forest Green got promoted. It's Colchester, Bradford City and Walsall all rising up to move into League 1. We're finished in 8th position, 2 points out of the playoffs. So not a bad season considering we were one of the lowest scoring teams. We turned that goal deficit around and it ends up being a 51-48. With a 3 goal difference, 18, 11 and 17 losses. We should be better off in the next season, especially if we can bring in some decent players. The worst team in the league is Cambridge United, and I mean, even they picked up 49 points. So a tight little league here compared to what everything else was going on. But some of those teams will filter down, and we'll see how we go in season number 2. That is where we finish today's episode. A lot of managerial stuff to take care of, letting you know how the transfers and stuff will work. So we'll set all that up in the next episode at the start of the new season. We've got new kits and a new sponsor. Myself, Sparring DK, the channel, will be sponsoring at Salford City for season number 2. So look forward to that. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this episode. Get ready for a big season number 2. I've got some storylines and just some real big plans for this series. So we'll see you then. I'm Sparring DK. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, and you have a good one. The Sparring DK channel now has Patreon, and if you feel like just going that little extra step to help, the channel grow, you can go across to the website, pledge your allegiance to myself, and for $1 a month, you're basically putting it in a jar and allowing for us to go and buy some more beers and record some more beer drinking episodes. Thank you very much to the current lads that have gone ahead and supported the channel. Absolutely tremendous to see anybody willing just to give that $1 a month at this stage. I cannot thank you from the bottom of my heart. You really will make a difference in the future. So jump across there if you're that way inclined to the Patreon channel. Sign up today and we'll see if we can get some extra beer drinking episodes for you at home. Now, if you are looking for some more content, we've got a couple of videos. One here, and if you want to subscribe, there's a button right there. So go ahead, subscribe, and you'll be notified when the video